All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. That means cell phones should be turned off. Shanti means cell phones should be turned off. That's the new translation of Shanti. Before I begin, I must first chant the two mantras that I live by. Trinadapi sunichena tarariva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. I must feel myself lower than a blade of grass, lower than the straw in the street. I must be more tolerant than the tree. I must give all respects to others because everyone is the resting place of Krishna, because Krishna is Paramatma, is in everyone's heart, including yours. And I must not be concerned whether or not people offer me respect or give me any attention. Thus, I can always execute the next mantra. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Namaiva Kevalam, Klau Nastyeva, Nastyeva, Nastyeva Gatiranyata. In 1973, I took the position, I decided that I would give this life, the remainder of my life, to Krishna and Guru. My Guru is here, the ISKCON founder Acharya, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. I was formally initiated in April of 1974, and therefore this life, from that point on, I have given to Guru and Krishna. That being the case, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama. The chanting of the holy name of Hari, everybody say, Hari. The holy name of God is the only way. Nastyeva, Nastyeva, not, there is no other way. If one wants spiritual perfection in this age of Kali, Kalau, then there is no alternative than the glorification, description, and chanting of the holy names of God. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So last Sunday, we observed the Gaur Purnima, the appearance of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Krishna Caitanya, Radha Krishna Nahe Anya. Lord Caitanya is here in this temple. Can you point to Lord Caitanya for everybody on the altar? Where is Lord Caitanya? Yes. He is alongside his spiritual brother, Nityananda. Nityananda is actually Krishna's elder brother, Balaram. And Krishna himself is the combined form of Radha and Krishna. Radha and Krishna is the spiritual exchange of love. God is one, separating themselves into two for all times in the form of Radha and Krishna here. Front and center, the main deities of this temple, Radha Krishna, or as we say, Radha Raman, Bhagavan. I just came from another temple this morning, and in that temple they have over 25 deities. So it is difficult to focus which one. Here it is very clear. It is very clear. The focus should be on Radha Krishna. So Radha and Krishna separated themselves eternally. And when they again combine, that is known as Sri Krishna Caitanya, who has other names such as Gauranga. Everybody say, Gaura Hari, Vishvambara. So all these different names of Lord Caitanya. And his appearance was about 530 years ago in a place in Bengal known as Navadvip. He spent 48 years on this earth, 24 years in Navadvip as a householder, and 24 years in Jagannath Puri as a sannyasi. So, I've already given several classes on Lord Caitanya, and since it is still the season, because soon we will be talking about Lord Ram, because his appearance day is coming very soon, early in April. Everybody say, Lord Ram. Lord Ram. That name Ram is so potent. Shankara Bhagavan, Lord Shiva, told his wife Parvati, because she asked him, why are you always chanting? As sometimes people ask us, like my father, why are you always chanting? So Lord Shiva was also asked that question. So I should not be upset when somebody asks me, why are you always mumbling? Why are you always chanting? Lord Shiva told his wife, the reason why I'm always chanting, that this name Ram, everybody say, Ram, is equal to 1,000 names of God. 1,000 names of God. That may take 20 minutes maybe. You can get the same benefit in a nanosecond. Ram. Very good. Now you can go home. No, we have to take prasad still. So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came for personal reasons to understand Radha and her love and her ecstasy. Lord Chaitanya appeared externally to give everyone the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. But Lord Chaitanya also has a philosophy. The great philosophers of India, the four acharyas, come from South India. There is Nimbarka Swami, the head of the Vishnu Swami Sampradaya, Vaishnava Sampradaya, Ramanujacharya in the Sri Sampradaya, Madhvacharya in the Brahma Sampradaya, and Nimbarka in his Sampradaya, Kumar Sampradaya, following the four Kumars. Lord Chaitanya's Sampradaya is an offshoot of the Madhvacharya Sampradaya, and therefore technically his Sampradaya is called Gaudiya Brahma Madhva Sampradaya. It's derived from Brahma, Lord Brahma, who's the original of the Madhva Sampradaya. And each of these philosophers have a particular philosophy. Just as Shankaracharya, Lord Shiva has a Sampradaya known as the Mayavad or Shankaracharya Sampradaya. His philosophy was called Mayavad. And opposed to this Mayavad philosophy are the four Vaishnava philosophies, such as Ramanujacharya's philosophy and Nimbarka's philosophy. They have technical names. I can't remember exactly what each one is. Shuddha Dvaita, Vashista Dvaita, Dvaita Dvaita. So Madhva has his philosophy, Ramanuja, Nimbarka, Vishnu Swami. And since Lord Caitanya has his own sampradaya, he also has his philosophy, which is called Achintya Beda Abeda Tattva. That philosophy means, what is the absolute truth? Everything is simultaneously one with and different from the absolute truth. The absolute truth is that from which everything comes, the source, the origin. So Lord Chaitanya's specific philosophy is everything can be seen being simultaneously one with and different. The easiest, or shall we say the most fundamental aspect. God is the Supreme Person. We, living entities, persons, are His parts and parcels. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mama eva angsha, jiva loke, jiva bhuta sanatana. Krishna claims us in Bhagavad Gita as Mama eva angsha, my angsha. Krishna is claiming you as his part and parcel. Just like here's this young boy in a blue shirt. His mommy is there. He is angsha of his mommy and daddy. Krishna is claiming us as his children. We are all children of God. Why can't we get along? That's another class. That's another 2-hour lecture. But the point Krishna is making in Bhagavad Gita, he's claiming all living entities as his angsha, parts and parcels. So we're one with God in the sense that we are of the same quality, like the sun and the sun ray. The sun ray is nothing but a particle of the sun, but the sun ray does not have the potency of the sun planet. Thank God. Otherwise, we'd burn up. It is God's arrangement. We only get the sun ray, not the sun planet. So the living entity, the soul, Krishna's angsha, has all the qualities of Krishna, all the spiritual qualities, because we're spirit. That's the first lesson of Bhagavad Gita. You're spirit, not matter. You're not this material nature. You are spirit. You have all of Krishna's qualities, but the difference, right? Because everything is one and different. We're one with God. We have the same qualities, but very minute potency. We are all God, but pipsqueak, little, tiny, infinitesimal gods. We're not the big God. Another example in the Upanishads, no, not the Upanishads, Puranas. There's a great fire. And you all have experience of fire. The sparks come flying out every so often. Pat, pat. The sparks fly out. If you're not careful, it'll burn a hole. Like when we do yagyas. I've been to yagyas. At the end, there's like 20 holes in my kurta. My wife says, this is useless now. All these little holes caused by the sparks coming out of the fire yagya. So the Puranas explain Krishna is like the blazing fire and the living entities are sparks. The sparks are nothing but fire, but not the same power as the great blazing fire. So we're one with God. We have all of His qualities, but the difference is quantity. Therefore, we are called infinitesimal. Krishna or God is infinite. We are infinitesimal. Big difference. Shankara's philosophy says that the infinite and the infinitesimal are one, equal in all respects. So his philosophy differs from Ramanuja, Madhvacharya, Nimbarka, Vishnu Swami, and also Lord Caitanya. Shankaracharya's philosophy only deals with Advaita, oneness. No distinctions, no variety, just one. No individuality, no personality, one. That's it. Advaita is called, well, his philosophy technically is called Mayavad, but it can also be called Advaitavad. There's just one. But Lord Chaitanya's philosophy is simultaneously one and different. Everything can be seen, simultaneously one and different. Lord Chaitanya, although born in a Brahmana family, Brahmanas are generally called Pandit because they have deep knowledge of the Vedic scriptures. And in his youth, Lord Chaitanya was known as Nimai Pandit. So he was a great scholar. But although he was a great scholar, he did not write any books. He only composed 8 shlokas called Shastaka, 8 instructions. And those instructions are all about understanding the significance of chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Those Shikshastakam prayers, I highly encourage you to learn them in Sanskrit and in your native tongue, whether it be Hindi or English or Spanish, whatever language you are comfortable with. But those 8 teachings of Lord Chaitanya are the essence of his philosophy. But tonight I'm going to explain other aspects of his philosophy, Achintya, Veda, Tattva, his principal teachings, because his full teachings is several books. So I've selected the essential teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. The first one, this is not in any particular order other than how they appear in the Caitanya Charitamrita. So it's not that one is more significant than the other. First one, Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Ata Eva Shanta. Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sokali Ashanta. The meaning of this Bengali verse, because the Caitanya Charitamrita was written in Bengali, although there are a few Sanskrit verses. So this verse is in Bengali language. Krishna Bhakta Nishkam. Lord Chaitanya's philosophy is that if you are a devotee of Krishna, then you should be free from material desire. Nishkam. Not free from desire, because that is impossible. The only way to become free from desire is to become a dead stone. But as long as you're alive, you're going to have desire, because desire is part and parcel of the soul. Just as soon as there is a flame, you have to have heat and light. It's absolutely necessary. So if you're a soul, and Krishna already said in Bhagavad Gita, that's who you are, and I explained, Mama Eva Angsha, you are Krishna's part and parcel, that you have all the qualities of Krishna to a minute degree, so that's what you are, soul. Desire must be there. So when Lord Chaitanya says, Now, Krishna Bhakta Nishkam means no material desire. Spiritual desire is there. That is real desire. Just as in Sanskrit we have this word ahankar, false ego. If there's a false ego, there must be a true ego. Otherwise, why would you use the word false ego? There must be a true ego. The Buddhists, their philosophy is no ego, nothing, void. That's impossible. But that's their philosophy. Their philosophy is ultimately become nothing. How are you going to do that? How can you become nothing? Because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, you always existed, you exist now, you will continue to exist. You cannot become nothing. Sorry, get used to yourself. You're not going anywhere. You cannot become nothing. You are eternally a person. So what is material desire? And what is spiritual desire? Material desire means I have something I want for myself. That's material desire. I want money. I want fame. I want popularity. I want more and more acquisitions. I want more and more and more. We call that greed. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, one of the gates leading to hell is greed. Prabhupada used to say, you all know Birla, right? Birla. But Prabhupada used to say, even he can only eat 6 chapatis, not more. Even though he has so many crores and crores, still, all he can eat maybe is 6 chapatis. Maybe 2? Have you met him?
Not met him. But I imagine as you get grow old, you can't eat.
Yeah, that's right. I can still eat 10. Yes, oh, 10 rasgulla. Okay. Everybody's confessing now. But greed, that is the problem with greed. Like a brahmana. A brahmana should be satisfied, a real brahmana is satisfied in any condition. The classic example is Sudama. When Sudama was dirt poor, he was happy. He was worshipping Krishna, but he was happy. He was not morose, oh, I'm so poor. No. He was still worshipping Krishna, but he was happy. And then after visiting Krishna in Dwaraka and returning home, his little shack turned into a palace. And now he had servants, and his wife came out looking like the goddess of fortune with beautiful clothes. And she was ecstatic. My husband, just see what your friend Krishna has done. But Sudama didn't change. After getting all this opulence, he was the same Sudama, still worshipping Krishna exactly the same way, being very, very happy. That's a brahmana. In this condition, you're happy. In this condition, like Yudhishthira in the forest for all those years. Actually, Yudhishthira admitted to his brothers, you know what? We have been living in the forest for so many years. I'm actually happier than I was in Hastinapur. Because here in the forest, we're eating very simply. And I'm getting the association of so many rishis and sadhus. Yudhishthira was getting so much knowledge by living in he was very happy. But meanwhile, back in Hastinapur, Duryodhana was never happy. Still he was conniving and trying so many things. Even though he had everything. After the gambling match, Duryodhana took everything that Yudhishthira had acquired. everything. And still he wasn't happy. That's greed. So a devotee of Krishna has no material desire. He has the spiritual desire. What is that spiritual desire? How can I serve Krishna? That's spiritual desire. For a disciple, one who has a spiritual master, he has only one desire: how to satisfy Guru. For a disciple, he's not even thinking how to satisfy Krishna. Because yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, yasya prasadam nagati kutopi. The disciple knows, if I satisfy Guru, automatically Krishna is satisfied. That's why the disciple's first order of business is, what is the order of my Guru? Like Prabhupada in his own life. From the very first time he met Bhakti Siddhanta, all throughout, the instruction remained the same. Speak, preach in English. That was the instruction. Go and preach this message in the English language. He got that instruction in 1922. He never forgot. Finally, in 1965, he came to America to execute the order of his Guru. And he was convinced, if I execute the order of my Guru, Krishna is automatically satisfied. So, spiritual desire is how to please Guru and subsequently Krishna. Let's look at Radharani. She's on the altar. She is Krishna's topmost servitor. That's the meaning of her name, Radha. Everybody say. Radha. That name we learn from the night of the Rasa dance. All the other gopis admitted, this gopi must have pleased Krishna better than us. Therefore her name, Radha. Everybody say. Radha. So what is her meditation? Radha's she also does meditation, but not the yogi's meditation. Radha is not sitting in lotus position. No. But she is doing meditation constantly, 24 hours a day. Even while sleeping, she's meditating. What is her meditation? How can I please Krishna's senses? That's her meditation. I was speaking earlier today in this other Hindu temple. What is the perfectional marriage arrangement? And I was explaining the best marriage arrangement is when the husband and wife are each other's well-wisher. And the cause for disruption in the family is when one party says, what about me? But real perfection, the wife is always thinking, how can I assist my husband? And the husband is thinking, how can I assist my wife? Once it becomes a one-way street, problems. But if each is thinking of the other's welfare, you'll still be on your honeymoon at the age of 75. Raman Bhagavan ki. So Radharani is always thinking, how can I satisfy Krishna's desires? And Krishna, in the same way, is also thinking, how can I satisfy my devotees? Therefore, Krishna is called Bhakta Vatsala. Everybody say? Krishna also wants to satisfy the desires of his devotees because the devotees have no material desires. There is that story of Durvasa Muni. When Durvasa Muni was being chased by Krishna's Sudarshana Chakra, he had offended Ambarish. So immediately the Sudarshan Chakra was sent, and that Sudarshan Chakra has 360 edges. It's like a razor. Right? Krishna uses that Sudarshan Chakra to cut off the heads of the demons. And it's very sharp. So that Sudarshan Chakra was coming after Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni was running everywhere, looking for shelter. He went to Lord Shiva, save me, save me. He goes, no, I can't protect you from Sudarshan Chakra. That's above my pay grade. He went to Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma said, can't help you, Baba. So Durvasa actually went to see Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu explained to Durvasa, Durvasa, it's my weapon, but there's nothing I can do about it. You have offended my devotee. If he forgives you, then the Sudarshan Chakra will come back to me. I'm out of this. You have offended my devotee. Just see how Krishna, Kaunteya pratijanahi name bhakta pradasyati. And then Lord Narayan told Durvasa Muni something very, very nice. Lord Narayan said, Durvasa, you don't understand. Devotees, I only know devotees in my heart. Nobody else. Only devotees. And then Narayan said, why? Why do I only have devotees in my heart? Because I am in the heart only of my devotees. So it's reciprocal. Just as the devotees always have Krishna or Narayan in their heart, Krishna reciprocates in his heart. That's all he knows. So Durvasa went back to Ambarish. Now this whole excursion took 1 year. And for 1 year, Ambarish was standing with folded hands, wasn't eating, wasn't drinking. He was waiting for Durvasa to come back. And when Durvasa came, he fell at Ambarish's foot. And there was the Sudarshan Chakra, and Ambarish said, stop, I forgive. He forgave Durvasa. 1 year, he's not eating, not drinking. So devotees, they are very, very merciful and compassionate. And they always carry Krishna in their heart wherever they go. And subsequently, Krishna only carries them in his heart. Krishna admitted that time when Krishna cut his finger and Draupadi tied some cloth around his finger, and Krishna said, one day I'll repay you. And what was that day? Asat-sabai. When the Kauravas were trying to rob her of her clothes, Krishna reciprocated and supplied unlimited cloth. Prabhupada explains, there were heaps and heaps of cloth. That's why I call it Krishna's sorry avatar. He supplied unlimited cloth. And all she did was a little bit to cover the finger. Prabhupada used to say, when Krishna wants to take something away, you have 2 hands, he has 10. What are you going to do? But when Krishna blesses you, You can only receive with 2 hands, and he's giving with 10. That's why your best bet is to worship Krishna. You'll get your best return on investment. So this verse goes on to say, Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Shokali Ashanta. Lord Caitanya says, because the Krishna devotees only have Krishna in their minds and his satisfaction, therefore they are peaceful. But these others, the sense enjoyers, the mental speculators, the mystic yogis, they have some desire, and therefore they cannot be peaceful. They have some personal agenda. The devotees have no personal agenda. The devotees only have, what can I do to satisfy Krishna and Guru? But all others, they have some personal motivation, and therefore they cannot have peace. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now there are so many instructions. I spent most of the time just on one, so I'll do one more, one of my favorite. So one of my favorite instructions of Lord Caitanya, he is quoting Narada Muni. Narada Muni is the great devotee, the author of the Narada Bhakti Sutras. Narada Muni has some great disciples, Prahlad, Chitraketu, Dhruva, Mrigarhi the hunter. Narada is so powerful that he converted a hunter into a sadhu. So Narada Muni's potency as a preacher is very much appreciated. So Narada has one verse by which he defines bhakti. Bhakti is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. If you study Bhagavad Gita thoroughly, like I do every year, cover to cover, shloka to shloka, and it doesn't change. It's not that one day I read the shloka and then it says something different. No. Every year it says the same thing, surrender to Krishna. Just like April 15th coming, or now it's April 18th this year. It always says the same thing. Pay your taxes. So, in the Bhagavad Gita, the conclusion is bhakti. So, Narada gives a nice definition of bhakti. Sarva upadi vinir muktam. First of all, become free from all designations. Designations is what we call false ego. I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm American, I'm Indian, I'm Democrat, I'm Republican, I am businessman, I am temple manager. These are all designations. These are games that we play. That's not who we are. That's all false ego. My real ego, I am Krishna's eternal servant. Nothing more, nothing left. So, sarva upadi, become free, vinir muktam, become free from all designations. Same thing Krishna told Arjuna in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. You're not anything but spirit soul. Sarva upadi vinir mukta. So that's point number one. Free yourself from misidentification. Number 2, tat padat vena nirmalam. Purify your existence. What does that mean? Live a simple, pure, sinless life. Don't eat meat, fish, or eggs. Don't gamble. Don't have illicit sex. And don't take intoxication. These 4 things, if you can agree to follow, you're living a pure life. You eat simple foods, as mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, food in the mode of goodness. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, grains, water, milk. Food in the mode of goodness that can be offered to Krishna. You get yourself married and live peacefully with wife, have children. Don't use the wife or husband for a means of sense gratification, exploitation. Do not engage in intoxication and stay away from gambling. That's leading a pure life, pure, simple life. Now, the last 2 lines. Rishikena. With your senses. The body has 11 senses. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, hands, legs, throat, genital anus, and the 11th, the mind. These are your 11 senses. Rishika ena, meaning in Sanskrit, that's the instrumental case, meaning with or by. When this ending is there in the instrumental case, it means with or by your senses, you're supposed to do something. Rishikesha sevanam. Rishikesha is Krishna. He's called that in Bhagavad Gita by Arjuna several times. Rishikesha means the controller, the master of the senses. Just like in the body runs if food is supplied to the stomach. When the stomach is fed nutritious food stuff, all the body is nourished. Or another example Narada gives, you water the root of the tree, the whole tree is nourished. You have to, because that's how the tree lives, by its roots. So, Rishikesha Sevanam, with your senses, serve the Lord, the master of the senses, Krishna. That is the simple definition of bhakti. Lead a pure life, become free from designation, and with your senses, serve Krishna. Just like right now, you're serving Krishna through your ears, your hearing, or with your mind, paying attention. That's service. I am serving Krishna by means of my speech and memory. And I'm also hearing at the same time. That's why it's good to be a preacher. You get to do several things. You get to multitask. Ambarish Maharaj, we mentioned him. He was engaging every aspect of his life. Although he was king, he would come like you all do. He would come every day and bow down to the deity. When the flowers would come that were offered, he would smell. He would use his eyes to look at the beautiful form of Krishna. That's why the deity is dressed opulently. That's another one of Prabhupada's instructions. The deity must be dressed opulently to attract our minds away from Bollywood movie. disattract and become attracted to Krishna. Ambarish was using his legs to walk to the temple, or sometimes his hands in serving the deity. He was engaging all of his senses. Sometimes people ask, why do we use beads to chant? Because you get to engage the sense of touch. The idea is to be engaged with as many senses in the service of Krishna. That'll have to be it for today. We'll speak more on the science of Krishna next month. Everybody raise your hand. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Thank you very much.